I am back. I just want to talk about this situation here that's I consider newsworthy real quick, and I have to go. And I got more stuff I'd like to share with you all later on. Got some juicy news to share, politics and all of that, and share it from my ideological insight. Well, let me start off with letting you all know, just in case you didn't know this. On November 3rd, we had an election. Donald Trump was, for all intents and purposes, it looks like he's defeated. I think that maybe the Republicans got maybe a one-seat majority in the U.S. Senate. That I need to check back on, but their majority is very slim. So razor thin slim. So just it's still something that needs to turn it the other way and actually have the Democratic Party taking over the U.S. Senate. I'm rooting for that to happen. It's not likely the outcome. Looks like the Democrats will remain in control of the U.S. House of Representatives. As far as two-party politics and lesser evilism is concerned, that's a healthy development. On the downside about that, the Democratic Party's majority is slightly slimmer now than it was in 2018, and that's how it's going to look once it's taken care of. So there is a slimmer majority for the Democratic House. Now, just recently, Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger, somebody I never heard of, but I have an idea about her, of Virginia, Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger blames AOC, Bernie Sanders, Democratic Socialists for the loss that took place in the U.S. House the other day, whereby there is a slimmer majority for the Democrats. And she's argued for the Democratic Party to move away from socialism and move back toward the center. Newsflash, Abigail. It was that fucking turn to the center for the last 30 years that's kept the Democratic Party in the garbage can that it's been. Someone like myself don't vote Democrat just to get fucking diet Republicans. And that's what happened over the years. You don't give people a choice. Abigail Spanberger, you're the one that's the problem, not AOC, not Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. She said in a rally last year, AOC said that the Democratic Party is not so much moving so leftward, but going back to the way it used to be. And that's where it needs to be. It needs to be in that FDR New Deal ideological core values. For the Democratic Party to survive, you got to erase the Bill Clinton legacy out of the party. Bill Clinton has destroyed the Democratic Party. You hear this, Abigail? The Democratic Party got destroyed by Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. They're the cancer to the Democratic Party. And you're acting like the squad. And you're acting like Bernie Sanders and Democratic Socialists are the problem. You're stupid, Abigail. You're stupid. You're a useful idiot for the Republican Party, just like Joe Lieberman, just like Claire McCaskill, just like Bill Hillary Clinton, and Joe Manchin of West Virginia, Dianne Feinstein, Barack Obama. It's Democrats like yourself that makes me sick and nauseous to the stomach. The Republican Party is a shitty party, but at least with the Republican Party, I know that the dagger is being stabbed in front of me. People like yourself, Abigail, You're the one that take the dagger and you stab people in the back with it. This triangulation that Bill Clinton's been on and that the Democratic Party holds on to like a piece of shit in your asshole trying to plop down into the toilet. That's basically what it is. And that's what the Democratic Leadership Council was. It was that piece of shit just dangling in somebody's asshole. My problem with the Dems is there are too many people like Abigail Spanberger. This is why I argue for a Labor Party all the time. And people are like, oh God, because talking about the Labor Party. Unless the Democratic Party can be transformed into a Labor Party. And I have my doubts that it ever could be. Because of the American political system that's set up, whereby you had the two parties, and the Democratic Party was historically not created to be a center-left party back then. It was an agrarian populist party from another time. But because of what conditions, there was potential in the 1930s to transform the Democratic Party into something that would be akin to the British Labour Party or the Socialist Party in France or the Social Democrats in Germany or in Canada, the New Democratic Party. But these Democrats here in the United States, they don't want that. And they don't even realize that. But their politics is actually to the right of the center right in Europe in terms of economics. The fact that that Theresa May, the previous Prime Minister of Great Britain, was to the left of Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton on the issue of healthcare, of Tory, a conservative. And that the Overton window is so skewed to the right in this country in a bad way that the Prime Minister of Great Britain at the moment, Boris Johnson, is to the left of former President Barack Obama and to the left of former President Bill Clinton on the issue of whether we ought to have health care for everybody. He freaking thanked the National Health Service for saving his life from COVID. You couldn't even get fucking Joe Biden to support Medicare for all. The fact that Boris Johnson is to the left of Joe Biden on health care in this country. The Democratic Party is a sewage because of people like Abigail Spanberger. And in order for the Democratic Party to survive, they need to move up. They need to focus. They don't need to be afraid on the economics. They need to embrace it. But the Democratic Party has an ass backwards. They want to campaign against hurt feelings, but they will coddle the corporatists. They will sit there and support corporately managed trade deals that fuck over union workers and fuck over people in this country. They will go and support neocon wars in the name of humanitarianism. And that's what the Democratic Party degenerated itself into, and they give us a dog and pony show. Oh, they'll sound woke when they need to, but the moment they get into power, and mark my words, I'm telling you all this, that Joe Biden is not going to be the next FDR. In fact, I predict, and you heard me first, Joe Biden will be appointing people from Republicans that went out of their way to support him. He's going to be putting them in the cabinets. Yeah, he's going to be putting some Democrats in there too. As I said previously, it'll be Obama at his most conservative and Bush and Cheney at their most liberal, somehow combined. We're going to get the kind of normal that happened under Bush, Cheney, and happened under Obama that cost us to have a Donald Trump in the last 4 years. And we could end up with another Donald Trump, a worse Donald Trump, Tom Cotton or Ted Cruz. And they're actually worse than Donald Trump. For the Democrats they need to, I'm not saying that the Democrats need to stop it with the identity politics. We have racism. It needs to be addressed. We have police brutality. It needs to be addressed. We have an immigration crisis that needs to be resolved. And the last 4 years, actually, the last 12 years, because, yeah, Trump is an asshole for putting those kids in the cages. Obama also put those kids in the cages, too. And if we have a different policy toward Latin America that we have and depart from what we do currently, we wouldn't have an immigration flow in this country. And for the record, it ain't the end of the world that we have more people in this country speaking Spanish. But I would argue that the Democratic Party needs to focus on, and people on the left don't like the term class reductionism, but we need to focus on class reductionism and kind of downplay the political correctness. I'm not asking for I'm not asking for the left to be socially conservative. I'm not asking for the left to even ignore the identity politic issues, but I'm asking the left to be more mature about this shit and don't do it in a way where we end up, losing in the public relations battles, losing at the ballot box, and losing as far as being there to actually implement policy that's actually going to improve the lives of most men and women in this country. And then, in other words, instead of taking the issue of Medicare for all and being scared, don't mention Medicare for all. They're gonna think we're a bunch of socialists. Whatever you do, don't say it. Don't say it. You got to stop that shit. You got to run toward Medicare for all. You got to embrace it. Honestly, I would say go NHS, National Health Service, full socialized medicine as done in Great Britain. That is the way to do it. But I'll settle for the Canadian way of doing this. I will settle for the French way of doing this. I'll even settle for the, I mean, it's a little too market centered, but I'll even settle for the German system or the Dutch system. Although, if we have anything like the German or Dutch system, I want to see it transform into something like the French system and ultimately like the British system. But the point I'm trying to make is that the Democrats need to stop acting like they're afraid to be Democrats. What would Franklin Roosevelt say if he was still alive watching this shit? And to have former U.S. Senator Claire McCaskill of Missouri lecture Democrats on staying away from campaigning on the left, Claire McCaskill got her ass defeated. I was glad she got defeated. Don't need Claire McCaskill. And she's going to sit there and lecture for the loss of the Democrats. To the Claire McCaskills and the Dianne Feinsteins and to the Joe Liebermans and the Joe Manchins and to Bill and Hillary Clinton and to Barack Obama and to Beto O'Rourke. Yeah, I'm lumping you in, Beto O'Rourke. To the Pete Buttigieg. I'm lumping you, Pete, in there. Amy Klobuchar, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi. If you want the Democrats to survive, you got to remember the left is where the energy is. The left, not being diet Republicans, not trying to appeal to the right, but convince the right that how practical the left is, how practical it is to be a nation like our other Western Democratic allies where if you get sick, it's not gonna it'll be free at the point of usage or pretty damn inexpensive. That you could have a job that has a union and that your job can last 25, 30, 35, 40 years, even as you like. And when you retire, you have a generous pension. You have long vacation times. You make enough for your family to survive and do well. I've argued when people said Barack Obama is going to turn America socialist. He didn't. They said that about Bill Clinton. He didn't. They're saying that about Joe Biden now. He will not. And if Kamala Harris becomes president, because we all know Joe Biden's brain is melting, she will not make America socialist either. I have argued that we've had more socialism in America during the days of Dwight Eisenhower than we do today. I mean, Michael Moore said that Richard Nixon was America's last president, a liberal president. I mean, even Richard Nixon supported universal basic income. What does that tell you? How we've how the Democratic Party have regressed since those days. The left is where the energy is, and Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger couldn't be more wrong. Is AOC perfect? Nobody's perfect. Not even Bernie Sanders, who's a hero of mine, is perfect. Not even the late Eugene Debs, who I have in right here behind me when I do these commentaries. The grandfather of American socialism. He wasn't perfect. None of us were perfect. I mean, even my favorite YouTube commentator at the moment, Shoe on Head, she's not perfect. I mean, she's pretty damn near perfect, but But anyway, my point is that we need to be a social democracy. AOC will be proven to be correct down the road. Is she perfect? As I said, no. I mean, I sometimes think she gets a little bit too worked up on the cultural issues. And I think she could use a little bit more class reductionism, and it'll go a long way for her. But you know what? I'm glad she's a royal pain in the butt to Nancy Pelosi, and I'm glad she's a royal pain in the butt to the entire damn Republican Party. Thank goodness I sleep better during the day because I work graveyard shift, knowing that AOC is there causing trouble, good kind of trouble. I get worked up because just what is common sense gets rejected, and it just drives me nuts. I mean, I'm so tired of the Debbie Wasserman Schultz around. I mean, I'm so tired. I'm just so tired of these people. These career politicians. Joe Kennedy entering the Democratic primaries in Massachusetts because he thought he was so awesome because his name is Kennedy. He was going to go and try to unseat Ed Markey. I was glad to see Ed Markey defeat Joe Kennedy. I hope that this puts the whole Kennedy family to rest politically and to just kind of fade away. Go away, Kennedys. Your days are gone. If you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you were triggered, comment anyway. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you that if you have a platform and you're passionate about something, please utilize it. And if you don't, create one. Utilize it, because we're all the muckrakers of our time. And most importantly, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I am American social democracy, peace, and Bernie Sanders for president in the year 2024.